The News4JAX I-Team has obtained body camera video showing the initial response from Jacksonville police when a local homeowner discovered strangers had moved into her house.
And destroyed it, or was it already
You're going to be
destroyed?
investigated for fraud, okay?
Nearly 2 months later, the accused squatters are gone, but no one has been arrested. The house was left in bad shape, as you saw there. The homeowner told police the washer and dryer were stolen. There were thousands of dollars worth of property damage.
News4JAX I-Team investigator Ann Mack.
So not only did you squat in my house, but you didn't even have you had the audacity and you didn't have the decency to at least not destroy them. Did y'all see them walls? Did y'all see them walls? I would have had a freaking breakdown in this house if this was my house. Look at this.
Nearly 2 months later, the accused squatters are gone, but no one has been.
Look, how? What was y'all doing in here, bro? What was y'all doing in here? I'm not even worried about where my washer and dryer is. That could be replaced. The wall could be replaced too, but imagine just walking in and seeing your place like this after you had squatters in there and you had to get them gone. Eat it. Take your pots and pans. We don't want them. Y'all could have took that. Look at this house.
You're going to be investigated for fraud, okay?
Nearly 2 months later, the accused squatters are gone, but no one has been arrested.
Look at this house.
The house was left in bad shape, as you saw there. The homeowner told police the washer and dryer were stolen. There were thousands of dollars worth of property damage.
News4JAX I-Team investigator Ann Maxwell has been following this story since the beginning. She's joining us live with that body camera footage. Ann?
Joy, investigators ASO are continuing to follow up on this case. It's been quite the ordeal, and the homeowner is frustrated. One of the women who moved into her house told the responding officer she'd been a victim of a rental scam. But as you'll see in that body camera video, the officer soon becomes suspicious of her story. But he said there wasn't much he could do in that moment.
If there is probable cause, you're going to be arrested, okay?
A call from a confused homeowner.
The crazy thing about squatters' rights, bro, it's crazy how squatters end up having rights, dog. Even though that could be your house, they could somehow overtake if they've been there a certain amount of time. Or I think they could show proof that they paid a bill or something like that. But I have no respect for squatters. I would have more respect if once you got caught, you just got up out the house. But the squatters that stay and try to fight and take it to court and destroy the house in retaliation and stuff like this, I have no respect for it.
If there is probable cause, you're going to be arrested, okay?
A call from a confused homeowner.
I own this house. It was for sale.
Leading to a testy exchange.
You can choose.
Oh, no, of course. I'm not going to vacate.
In early March, homeowner Patty Peoples was surprised to find people living in her rental property.
She has a signed lease and paid $3,100 for first and last month rent and a pet deposit.
So you already talked to her?
Yeah, she's very calm and very, very polite.
But Peoples hadn't authorized a lease.
Hey, how you doing, young lady? Good morning.
Hi.
What's going on?
So basically, I'm 22 years old, and I just moved out of the Hubbard house, the homeless house. My mom died 2 years ago. I've been in the Hubbard house for a freaking year.
She said she found this house for rent on Zillow, and a man named Christopher gave her a tour and accepted her as a tenant. But Zillow has no record of the house being listed for rent at that time. And the responding officer could find no trace of Christopher. The officer's research on scene did show that this woman claimed she was a victim of a similar rental scam at a nearby property a few months earlier. A neighbor said the couple moved out of this house right around the time they moved into People's house.
You're being scammed for your home. This is what I believe. Now,
She's part of it?
The officer starts asking for more information about the person she claimed rented her the house.
And how are you guys communicating?
Through email.
Okay, you got an email chain that I can see?
When the officer presses her to send the emails a few minutes later, she gets frustrated and says she'd need to send them from her computer, but she has to get to work.
I've been respectful.
Where do you work at? You gotta send it from your computer. You have to get to work, but you got the bonnet, and you are not even getting ready for work. You was in the house chilling before the police pulled up. In the house chilling. What is wrong with your phone? That don't even make sense when you really break it down and think about it. What is so wrong with your phone that you can't send the email from your phone, but you gotta send the computer? With your Wi-Fi don't work, then how the computer work? And then shouldn't you have data? or some type of gigs or something like that? How does that work? You just pulled up Zillow, so why don't the email work?
Chain that I can see.
When the officer presses her to send the emails a few minutes later, she gets frustrated and says she'd need to send them from her computer, but she has to get to work.
I've been respectful.
I've been respectful to you too.
But you're not allowing me to speak.
Okay,
So what I'm about to say is, this is the first I'm hearing about you having to be at work at 9. Even though you stated it to her, I didn't hear that because I'm not her.
Right.
Okay, I've been in my car
and can I get your badge number?
It's right there on the form.
He tells her she and her partner should move out,
Because if not, then we're going to come back and we're going to take you guys to jail.
but they refused.
Technically, I can't prove it, so she can still be a victim. And it's technically would be a civil ordeal.
And JSO hasn't taken them to jail.
Yeah, that seems like empty words to me.
News4Jack's crime and safety analyst Lakeisha Burton, who spent decades on the force at JSO, says the officer did not have the authority to make an arrest on the spot.
As frustrating and heartbreaking as this situation is, through the legal lens, squatting is a civil matter, so the officer followed the law.
The unwanted guest also seemed to know the law herself when the officer arrived, telling him her father, who sells houses, advised her she could continue living there.
But he told me I don't have to show this.
So your father sell houses, but he ain't got no house that he can sell you. He can find you a house to help you get one at a discount rate. Your dad sell houses. What's his commission? You know what I'm saying? He can't help you out. The fact that you know the law inside and out about squatters' rights, about how squatting works. Like I said, she's a serial squatter, bro. She just does this. She does this, and I can't respect it. I can't respect it.
The unwanted guest also seemed to know the law herself when the officer arrived, telling him her father, who sells houses, advised her she could continue living there.
But he told me I don't have to. So it's really up to him on what he does about before y'all. My dad said I don't have to go.
People says she spent thousands of dollars in legal fees to get them evicted about a month later. She found the house like this.
Look at this house, dog.
People says it's $38,000 worth of damage, a high price on top of an expensive eviction, a lost offer on the house, and months worth of repairs.
Bro, so she's out thousands. What you gonna do? Sue the woman who's squatting your house? She ain't got nothing to her name. She was squatting. She ain't got no money. $38,000 in damages. Some people need their ass whooped sometimes, dog. Some people do. Some people do. They need to get their butt whooped and then taken straight to jail. I feel like that should be laws. No weapons, just straight fists, dog. This right here would turn me into a whole vigilante. Oh my gosh, I would want this, my money back in blood. I'm telling you, I would. I would lose my mind in this house, bro. I would have to sell the whole
People
thing.
says it's $38,000 worth of damage, a high price on top of an expensive eviction, a lost offer on the house, and months worth of repairs.
I really felt naively that if someone breaks into your house and doesn't have legitimate paperwork, that this is a pretty cut and dried situation. It's quite frankly just the opposite.
She says she found this deposit slip in the trash once the two moved out. She's afraid someone else could get scammed.
It has become a trend here locally in Duval County over the last 2 years. So it's definitely something that we will have to look at legislatively to change. Because again, I think that a lot of times some of the laws, they tie the hands of police officers.
That woman you saw on the body camera who moved into the house previously told the I-Team that she was a victim of a scam. She became combative when we asked her if she'd been squatting there. Burton says it's not hard for people at JSO to find suspects on the run these days. However, it doesn't appear any charges have been filed in this case. Live downtown, Ann Maxwell, Channel 4, the local station.
Bro, no charges are going to be filed in this case. She has nothing.
What changes about Tyrese Halliburton's game?
She has nothing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the sad part about it. Out thousands because of a squatter. The mental breakdown I think I would have had in that room, bro. Seeing all the damage, know I would have to pay for it and foot that bill. The insurance, oh my goodness, dog. She a strong soldier, she a strong woman. But yeah, the crazy part about it, what really sucks is there's been multiple cases of things like this happening. There will be multiple cases of things like this happening in the future, and nothing will change.